So unfortunately today we didn't get a normal episode of RWBY, but we were given our very first taste of what I assume is going to be a mini series this volume, and that is RWBY Volume 2 World of Remnant 1 Dust. It's a super long name. Unfortunately the episode was very short, but it was a really good little bit of information about the world we get. It's almost like the book version to the series that we already have for RWBY, as in it gives us extra information on the universe. Of course, we learn about Dust and we learned about Aura from Volume 1, so we know a little bit there. But there's stuff that we got in this episode about Dust that we never knew unless you got some random information from maybe like the RWBY Wiki, or you follow Montium on Twitter or someone else in Rooster Teeth and they may have said something else. But this was definitely a cool little episode. It was unfortunate that it was so short. I was hoping that I didn't think it would be like 15 minutes or anything like a normal episode, but I was hoping it would be like 5 minutes or something like that. But it was a 2 minute episode. We, excuse me, still got some really good information out of it though. One of my favorite things is something that I never knew, which is that dust can be used in many forms, and particularly, which of course we knew the separate forms, but specifically the fact that it can be turned into clothing and it can be fused with people directly. We haven't seen that yet in the series, and I'm hoping we get to see that. And I feel like with this episode, having said that, it's a part of the universe. We're gonna get that at some point. It might not exactly be this season, which would really suck. But I really want to see the clothing thing because it looked like the scene that they had with the clothing. He actually kind of did like that, and basically the bottom of the cloak like set on fire. So I don't know if it's like it's a part of your clothing and then you can just do like that and it'll basically transform off of your body and turn into fire, and then you can kind of basically be like come back mentally or something, and then it comes back to you. And also it combining dust with your body physically and just from the source to your body, it apparently it's a bad way to do things, but we haven't seen that either, and I really want to see that. I want to see one of the characters, one of the villains I would assume, kind of go nuts and it's like, this is my last ditch effort. I have this last gem or whatever, and I'm gonna just shove this in my arm or something and try to take these kids out. But it was a cool little bit of information. Of course, there's not much I can say about it. It was 2 minutes. We learned about dust. I am excited for more of these episodes. Hopefully, the other ones will be a bit longer. I feel like the first two might be short because it was probably going to be dust and then aura, which we know most about. But after that, I don't know what it could be about. It would be stuff most likely the different kingdoms and stuff, and I'd love to learn about that because of course we're in Vale, so we really don't know anything else about the other kingdoms. We know their names, and that's really about it. We don't know much about the world, unfortunately, but we got a first taste here. I definitely enjoyed it. Excited for next week's episode. Not sure what we're gonna get out of that one, but hoping that we get some more new characters. Of course, I'm still hoping to see the rest of Sun's team. I really want to see a lot more of Neo. I like her character. I saw a video where someone did a breakdown for her character and they mentioned a lot of stuff that has me pretty excited. Like one thing they mentioned is how her name's Neo, which is like short for Neapolitan. That's why she looks like ice cream, and I mentioned that in my review, how she looks like ice cream, and that's why they call her Neo, because it's Neapolitan. And I thought, oh, that makes sense now why I thought she looked like ice cream, because she does. They also mentioned how she could be a reference to the character Napoleon, and how her power is kind of like illusions, and how Napoleon would win wars, basically tricking people into thinking that his army was weak and stuff, and he would give the illusion that he was weak, and then he would surround people and defeat them. And so they had that connection in the video. If I remember what video that is, I'll of course put the link in the description to give credit to that actual person. But I thought that was a pretty interesting video, and I gotta mention how the only thing that really beat Napoleon was winter, and then he was like, winter Schnee. So it was a cool little reference, and it makes sense that that would be how the show plays out because they do smart things like that. I never would have guessed that, but I'm not that smart, so I don't make the amazing shows. But I am excited for the rest of the season. I'm hoping we get a lot more episodes like this, the little World of Remnant episodes. Hopefully they don't have to be the replacement for episodes. I'd love it if they were able to create enough where it's like, hey, here's RWBY every Thursday, and then here's a World of Remnant episode, like maybe Wednesday or Friday, something like the day before or day after maybe. we get a little extra piece of RWBY, and where we get to learn a lot about the universe and how certain things came to be. We might even learn about the Schnee Dust Company, how that even came to be after what I have to assume is like centuries of people, finding out different ways to use dust. How does the Schnee family end up being the number one company for dust if everyone on the world knows what it is? So I like this episode. Excited for next week, of course. What are you guys excited for this season? Of course, comment below. Let me know what you guys thought about the episode. What little bits and pieces about the world do you guys want to see next? Like I said, I'm pretty sure it's going to be Aura for whenever we get this next World of Remnant episode. I'm almost 100% sure it's going to be Aura, because that's like, those are really the only two things we've learned about it. Dust was explained in episode 1, and then Aura was explained in, I want to say, episode maybe 6 or 7, something like that. It was probably before that. But those are really the only things we had. So after that, I think it's going to be a lot about the city and maybe even about certain characters. Like, I'd love to learn more about Glinda Goodwitch and Ozpin, their teachers. Man, that's like, they're clearly good teachers and they're clearly very powerful fighters. I mean, we haven't seen Ozpin fight, but he's headmaster for a reason. So I'd like to get some more of these episodes and they actually focus on characters that we don't get to see too often either. Even we might even get a silly one where it's like that old guy who owns the From Dusk Till Dawn store, which would be really funny because he's just in random episodes and he's always getting screwed over. He's either falling off a ladder, his truck's getting screwed up, he's getting robbed. But what do you guys want to see in the next episode, and what did you guys think of this one for, I guess, a little surprise that we're getting for the very first time? Comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.